Welcome back to the 2014 European Challenger Series. It is time for Game 2 in tonight's semifinal battle between Cloud9 Eclipse and Meet Your Makers. And with one more win, C9E will lock down a spot in next Friday's finals against Ninjas in Pajamas, and they berth in the second spring series.
So we already talked about this a little bit, but you know, normally Cloud9 is an early game powerhouse. Last game, they got behind early, and they were actually able to overcome that early deficit using that split push strategy and relying on their individual skills for playmaking. They actually didn't even have great ward coverage to back it up, and they purely outplayed them. Odoamne's Mundo definitely had a big impact on the game too. He crushed Kuban in CS, and he was able to be a bigger factor in the end game. By the time that Trundle did get his Blade of the Ruin King, I think it was just too late. He was a bit too far behind in gold. And Zed, he was split pushing against Zed half the time when he had that, which didn't really help him out a lot.
Didn't help really. Yeah, it was weird because like he got a 700 gold lead, had like a cutlass, and was like, I'm going to cash in on a Negatron cloak so we can trade farm and not kill each other. And I was like, but Kuban, you're winning. You had 3 kills and you've done nothing with them. And I was sad to watch him not get anything happen. But yeah, you mentioned sort of the Zed without ward coverage. I feel like that's an important ban to come through here. Because even though Forbidden has like a big champion pool, plays a lot of really strong things, we saw that with NIP as well, where Nuke Duck just like sat on one side of the lane and was just like, I'm Zed. I will kill anyone that fights me. I'll rush the Last Whisper, Black Cleaver, Ruin King. And then it was like, well, there's no answer. There just wasn't. It was like a joke without a punchline. He just kept dying over and over again. And I feel like that's really important here.
Yeah, I think so too. Like once he gets to that point with all that armor shred, he can kill the tank, as we saw him do multiple times with Trundle. And that's why they focus on Forbidden, you know, taking out the Riven, because if that's how scary the Zed is, I guess we don't want to see what he can do on the Riven. Like, that's his favorite champion.
I would almost rather face Riven though. Yeah. And just like, because at least she won't like. Well, no, maybe she still will, but like, I feel like he would survive better. You might not kill her as much, but like, I don't know, man. I feel like the Zed was like too important there.
That last flash to predict the body slam, like he was literally right next to him too. Yeah. That was definitely like a Faker-esque play.
That was a good freaking play.
There. And we all know that Faker does ridiculous things with Riven as well. So
it was good.
Either way, I'm excited to see more Forbidden.
I think the best play I've ever seen is a Jarvan EQs predicting a Warwick ult and knocks him up at the beginning of the suppression.
That's pretty good too.
That was legit.
A lot of the things that you do in this game just come from playing it so much that you can.
Like, that's the cooldown.
You can think, okay, what would my opponent do right now? If I was in that position, I'd body slam him right now. So you just go for it and you predict it with a flash.
It was freaking sexy.
Then you look like a genius.
You do look like a genius. It's so good. Here we go. Katarina. Of course, I wouldn't expect C9E to change their bans much, right? They all worked last time. Do them again.
So it worked last time in the end, but man, they are not used to losing the early game.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah, they might want to switch up a couple early game things here. But again, going back to the same old Katarina off the board, they saw how effective that was. They don't want to have to deal with a roaming Katarina. Like anytime you are on Kat, you know that you're not going to like dumpster your lane. You're not going to win your lane hard. So you're already in the mindset to go roam. And if you can get them off that champion, then maybe you can get them off that mindset.
Well, let's see what we go for here. Riven still dropped away here by Meet Your Makers, and now the question is, do they remove Elise, which was banned by the red team last time? Do they remove Zed? Do they hope C9E doesn't first pick it and take it for themselves? I'm curious what happens here. I don't know, because I feel like Meet Your Makers should be comfortable enough that they can get that same early game lead by outplaying their opponents and remove the things that lost in the game last time. We'll see.
I think that would be a good switch up because there's so many junglers right now that are really strong. I don't feel like Elise is a must ban. Lee Sin does very similar things. Yeah. Because you get that early aggression and you still get playmaking in the end game.
Well, look at the ban that Cloud9 Eclipse just brought in. They brought in Vi for the ban, which is what Makate played last game. But the top 3 junglers right now is Elise, Vi, Lee Sin. And if you ban Elise, they'll just take Lee Sin and be happy, I expect.
Right, so there's Lee Sin up, there's Olaf up, there's Wukong up, like there's so many options still. All of these, and there's Kha'Zix up too.
Yeah, true.
Like there's so many high damage champions work in the jungle now.
Yeah.
That I think it's really changed the dynamic. So really, we just sort of got the classic ones off the side here. The the ones with early crowd control.
And right away, Mundo locked in here. The Thrash going to be grabbed for Voidal. I liked his Annie personally, but removing the option there from Libic. And the funny thing is, yeah, you're right. Wukong, Olaf are in there, and they're actually in Makata's champion pool. The reason I mentioned this, though, was the early game junglers, right? Neither of those have, like, CC early on. And I was like, well, if you remove Vi, Lee Sin, and Elise, then maybe those lanes don't snowball as hard.
That's true.
We'll see. But Makata, I've not seen him play Lee Sin in a while. He does play some Pantheon. He actually plays some Mundo
Talk about
solo
early
queue.
game CC.
Yeah. Point and click stun with a gap close.
Pantheon is the early ganker. Like,
Yeah.
Vi is like the best at 6. Pantheon is the best pre-6.
Yeah. We'll see what they can do with this one. So Lucian's still coming through here. Removing it from Hjarnan didn't seem to stop him that badly. Hjarnan did just fine on Jinx. But, you know, Misha Maker has had that 2-on-1 kill early game with the Lucian Thresh. Like, certainly been, it was strong for Makler.
I think that we did see them a little bit be punished on that Jinx and Annie lane because the early gank from Vi comboed really well with Trundle, and they were able to get a couple kills onto Annie, but they didn't really punish Jinx that hard, and in the end, he still got the farm that he needed.
Yeah.
Which is exactly how you have to play on Jinx, and he was able to snowball the team fights that were around Dragon, so he got what he needed to get done.
And Cloud9 Eclipse, they lock in Gragas and Zed here, so they remove what Shire played last time. So I know Makata plays jungle Gragas.
Yeah.
Ku does as well as his top played in solo queue.
So that's probably going to be a jungle Gragas because top lane Gragas is a thing. However, against Mundo, I don't see that being something that you're going to want to go for.
Yeah.
Because
You
Mundo
could be a farm lane.
he's just going to. That's what Mundo wants. You don't want to do that to Mundo because he'll see us just fine under his turret, being able to spam cleavers and stuff. And all it really does is open up the Gragas to ganks because he's extending in a long lane. I definitely think this will be a strong jungle Gragas.
Okay.
And they've also locked in the Zed. So this team already has a ridiculous split pusher. We've seen Fabibin, the confidence and the skills to overextend and still make the plays. And they have what you need when you have a strong split pusher. Wave clear.
Yeah.
You got Gragas. Even though he's coming from the jungle, he's going to get to the point where he can just one-shot a wave. And if they have 4 men defending a turret, Zed split pushing, they can defend it all day with that Gragas.
So here's the interesting thing is, so we go back into the side, Zyra locked in, Libic still plays that a bunch. The Yasuo locked in actually, I almost want to say is more of a Kuban pick than a Charo pick, just because Kuban plays a lot of champions like Yasuo, Tryndamere, things like that. Maybe.
So I would, if they had Yasuo go top, then they'd have to be a jungle Mundo. And I'm not a huge fan of the jungle Mundo because of the lack of early CC that you talked about. Like, that's a big thing for early junglers. I mean, it's not like Gragas has amazing, really early CC before he hits 6, but I think you're right. It's going to be the mid lane. And then and the only thing I'm looking for now is where are the displacements? We need to get more displacements for Yasuo because in the end game, you don't want to have to be setting it up yourself. You need to be able to get your ult off in a split second.
Yeah.
And charging up 3 charges takes way too long in endgame fights. You have to be prepping yourself already at some creep wave or in the jungle or something.
Yeah.
So definitely need some displacements on the last pick.
Well, there it is.
Talk
There's
about
the
displacements.
Wukong.
You can displace the whole team, knock everybody up.
And he can pick whatever target he wants with. So no, she goes for Lee Sin. Still, presses R, knocks people in the air. Zyra available. Of course, that's going to be Libic's pickup. And you're right, yeah. Most likely top lane Mundo, mid Yasuo, and we'll see how Charo does. And of course, now this is a... I want to watch the mid lane like the entire time. Because it's a bunch of like potential to outplay high damage, very agile AD assassin mid laners. And this is going to be like... Well, Fabibin won the outplay war last time. With flashing body slams and whatnot. But like... This is that's just going to be a fun lane.
Yeah, Zed versus Yasuo is going to be very interesting because they are the 2 melee carry styles and they're going to be right up against each other. It's going to have a lot of jungler influence. I think that Lee Sin has an edge on those early ganks. Gragas, if you find somebody 1 versus 1, he's a beast.
Yeah.
Like, he does tremendous damage early, 1 versus 1. But I feel like Lee Sin can get into position a little bit quicker in the mid lane because he has 2 dashes with a safeguard and then Qs.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. The mid lane seems like it's going to be a really hotbed for action. I really am excited to see which one of those melee AD carries gets ahead because whichever one does is going to be much stronger when they do get to that split pushing game.
People to fight each other. And I'm actually curious to see how many of Q's abilities get blocked by wind walls. Because when Gragas goes to gank, he's like, level 6, ulti, and he's like, no.
Yeah.
then you're just kind of sad, and you go back to your jungle.
That's what he's. Oh, I guess that's the win wall.
Yeah, he like draws the line sort of.
So if you win wall wherever Gragas is coming for, though, Zed is still going to come straight for you.
Sure.
And he has the potential to 100%. Like, Zed can 100% Yasuo by himself.
Probably.
With his ulti. So it's still dangerous.
Definitely
But
is.
you're right. There's not as much that Zed can do for Lee Sin. He has to juke him with the shadows. He doesn't have the...
Can't just like outright block the
wall.
abilities.
Right.
You can ult and like juke things, kind of, but then you show up again and they'll kick you in the face.
Yeah. Don't want to get kicked in the face.
Gotta be careful about
That's
that one.
bad.
Getting kicked in the face hurts usually.
Now, did we talk about the top lane? Oh, it's Renekton and Mundo.
Yeah.
We don't have to talk about that.
So we've talked about that one
Same
before.
thing. Yeah.
You know, I don't feel like I see that matchup often enough.
So how's this one gonna go? For
Yeah,
you?
how's it gonna? I feel like I haven't seen top lane Renekton. Is he a strong laner?
I think he took Ignite. I think he was gonna be trying to kill this Mundo.
Mm.
I think he's gonna bully him early.
Does Ignite work well against Mundo?
So Ignite reduces the healing and regeneration,
Okay.
which is really good against Mundo.
You're saying
getting
that
pretty,
Mundo.
You're getting pretty close here.
You're saying that Mundo has regeneration. Mundo regenerates health.
He does.
Okay.
All right, serious mode. Dorans, Hunter's Machete. Classic. This is
Three
exactly what we
Doran
expected.
shields per side. I normally don't see 3 Doran shields per side.
Now, sometimes on Yasuo, when I'm feeling extremely confident, I do like to go Doran's Blade because the passive will proc with his Q as well. And you can regen a lot of life with it pretty early on. But Doran's Shield is the better overall buy when you're being safe. Oh, wow, face check in, he's going down.
Oh,
he missed the root.
Swamna getting knocked around. Flashes. Makata.
Does he want to flash for it?
Flashes
Yeah,
gets it. 280
Right.
gold.
Now, that's an interesting choice. Your flash cooldown for 280 gold. This early in the game, I take it every time because he's got a whole nother minute here before things even spawn. But a lot of the times, people have just been deciding to save summoners in the level 1 skirmishes because of the reduced gold amount for the first blood. This case, I really like to purchase, though. And he's going with the pink ward.
Okay.
Now we look for the placement. I would place it in a defensive position because you're a lot less likely to get that one passed over quickly. Like say this bush right here behind red,
Yeah.
and it'll protect you for a very long time. Whereas the small bush in the river, I feel like everybody should have trained themselves by now to check that thing every time they walk by it. So I have to see where he places it and exactly how long this one will last.
Let's see. So Meet Your Maker's actually already lurking around on the bottom side as well. I feel like Odromna will zone himself out anyway, but without Flash, maybe they get some damage on him. Well, the weird thing for me, like even in the mid lane, with them both going Doran Shield, is the mechanics of Doran Shield is it blocks before armor, which means it literally means the same as -8 attack damage on your opponent.
Yeah. For auto attacks.
Yeah, for auto attacks, right? But the funny thing is, all of the damage that would Yasuo would have would be like blocked the same way, right? So like every AD ratio he has is a non-hit effect, so like his Q and his basic attacks would be exactly the same. And so if you went Doran's Blade versus buying a Doran Shield, like I don't know, it feels like it would be like better to get damage there and use the life steal, use the life on hit, 5 life on hit. If you attack more than once every like 3 seconds, you're gonna get the same regen. And I don't know. I trust these guys. They're going to be more durable. They're going to withstand ganks. I just like damage.
That's what I'm saying. I like that, but you have to be very confident in your lane matchup, and there's a lot of variables in this one. We went over how easily the mid lane can be swung with junglers this time around. If you get ganked and you have to sit back from the creep wave, then you lose all your edge if you went Doran's Blade, whereas the shield is the passive regen.
Yeah.
So I do like that pickup. Now, with Lee Sin getting the first blood, it adds an extra little wrinkle into this matchup because a pink ward vision will pretty much guarantee one side of the lane in mid lane is going to be safe, completely safe for them.
Yeah.
Because they're going to lay down the early pink ward. And that's going to give a huge advantage to the Yasuo Lee Sin combo. You can set up counter ganks. You can waste the opponent's jungler's time as long as you act like you don't know they're there. There's so many options that you have when you have the early vision advantage. That can actually be a giant snowball in the game, even if it doesn't result in kills.
Yeah, and kind of thinking about the rest of it as well. He also got a rejuvenation bead, so he got part way over toward the Spirit Stone as well. Who, interestingly enough, Gets his blue buff. Okay, he's happy there. Learns body slam first. That is what you do with jungle Gragas. You get body slam. DPS is higher.
Interesting switch that we have here. Deciding to go and put their Renekton in the 2v1.
Yeah.
You know, both Renekton and Mundo pretty good in 2v1 situations. And I guess they're just trying to get out of this Lucian lane. Maybe they're afraid of getting bullied early.
Yeah, I guess kind of the guess here for me is that they're going to give Jinx. Well, the thing is, Jinx does have really, really good turret pushing. Remember, the same thing happened for C9E last game. They just put Jinx in 2v1.
Yeah, so the switching up Jinx, you know, even though she's amazing at turret pushing, she's better than pretty much everybody else at early turret pushing. The top turret with that, you know, minus champion damage nowadays, it seems to sort of even out.
Yeah.
A lot of times we see them get the turrets around the same time.
Yeah.
If the top one is Jinx. So really all you're doing is like giving up Renekton's early phase where Renekton is such a giant bully against Mundo. And Mundo's basically going to have a similar lane phase where he's just sitting far back trying to CS here.
Yeah.
Whereas Renekton doesn't really get to thrive in the early game that he loves.
The other thought as well is that it also guarantees the junglers are going to be in one of the side lanes, and so it frees up Forbidden to try to outplay 1v1 because they know there's not going to be any jungle pressure.
Now that could be, you know, they just have a lot of confidence in him.
I would.
But Yasuo is not like a pushover by any means. As we can see, he's already shoving him in.
Ooh, the pull onto Makata, though. Decent damage. Flay comes by as well. 220 health left on him. That was nice.
So if we talk about the junglers in 2v1 situation, Gragas, great wave clear. He's a bigger.
Wow. Goes mid, body slam flash. Vivian's still taking a bunch of damage. One hit to go. Can he get it? Charu, level up. Gets him anyway, but whew.
So
nice.
Yeah, Yasuo, he's no pushover. He can still kill you for this one. Nice hook into the minions too.
But Meteor Maker's already rotated the dual lane. These guys did not want the 2v1 to happen. Meteor Maker's making the early swap to catch this lane.
I think they want to take advantage of the switch too here. Mackler playing really far up. They're zoning the experience extremely well.
Wow. It's a really nice play right here. Meteor Makers, they did get back for a Dorian's Blade, but here comes Q onto the side.
He does not have his flash from the mid gank, but doesn't need it.
Oh, the double body slam, double play. Libic, not long for this world. Q gets it actually with the red buff, I believe.
You really have to be careful when you make rotations like this, trying to answer, and keep track of where your wards are. Because your support is usually the one with more wards. When you make a rotation like that, switching your duo lane and the top laner, usually the top laner has not left wards for you. And by the time they get up there, they don't have vision. You can see now the entire team trying to make up for this, and everybody's purchasing wards in all of their inventory.
Yeah.
They really want to get this vision game back.
Well, let's see what they can do with this one. Forbidden. He's going to last it under turret pretty safely. Gets him low. I like how with Zed you get minions low-ish and your passive helps you last hit. It's pretty easy to last it under turret with Zed. I think it's helpful for him.
Yeah, very easy. Yasuo is pretty easy as well, though. Being able to spam that Q quite often. And the crits just come out all the time, so even if you're a little bit off, you'll often just get a crit to finish it.
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people go double Brawler's Gloves first, but he's just gone straight for the gold-generating Avarice Blade.
Huh. I'd actually never seen that myself.
The Avarice Blade by itself?
Yeah. Or no,
Or
the double Brawler's Gloves.
Yeah, a lot of people really like rushing the double Brawlers just to get that lane advantage.
Yeah, it's 32 crit chance. Pretty dang nice.
But, you know, he's going to have more gold now in the long game. And since he's, as we can see, he's already doing a pretty good job against Forbidden,
Yeah.
then it's the more efficient route for him.
I like it. See if it pays off. Like, what if he like loses a kill barely, and it's like if you crit one more time, you would have gotten him.
Yeah, well,
We'll see what happens.
what if?
What if? We'll see. See if he misses a kill. I don't know if it's that likely, but
So, after all the lane swaps, we've actually ended up with MYM had their duo up top now, so they got put in the wrong position where they're hitting a turret that has extra champion reduction, and Jinx is left alone with the turret down bottom that does not. But Mokate has been so patient down here. He's actually got himself into a dangerous spot. He's very lucky that Cloud9 did not check this side bush, and he's in a perfect position. The only thing that would be better is if he was level 6 right now and he could kick him back under the turret.
that
But
would have helped.
it's still going to be a really, really sneaky gank right here because, as I said, Yarnan wants to make the most of that lane swap that got him all of this turret damage.
All right, gets a slow. Yernin does have flash and a lantern. And that's all.
That's a lot of waiting down there that Lee Sin did for no reward. They didn't even get a summoner. That was just a lantern from Voidal.
He might have got some of the XP. I think that Edge of the Brush is in experience range near the turret, maybe. But yeah, it didn't get to do much. Makata now over to his own red, 7 minutes in. Or his own blue, I should say, 7 minutes in. Standard timing here. Ku is 6, so the Cloud9 Eclipse jungler is ahead right here, and most of the way actually with his 2 kills to Spectral Wraith very early on.
I mean, Lee Sin's sort of caught up there, grabbing 6 off his blue, but he did waste a lot of time down there bottom. And we also have to point out how Sharu is taking advantage. Not only is he just shoving his lane very quickly, he takes that time to go with the sort of Mordekaiser playstyle where he goes and farms his Wraith Camp. That's the second time that he's gone and farmed up his Wraith Camp to get just that much more extra gold in his pockets.
Well, and here we go. An early Dragon attempt, though, by Meteor Makers. There's no ward coverage at all from C9E. It's a full sneak right now. Shiro comes down after shoving the wave. Oh, there is a ward, actually. It's fully, like, revealed.
Yeah, so the opposite of that. But MYM...
The opposite of no ward coverage. The scoreboard is in the way, okay? I couldn't see. Someone's in my eyes.
But all that is, hey, Gragas is top. Guys, they shoved me off my turret. I'm going to lose my turret. You need to answer Dragon. So, good reaction there from MYM.
Voidal, not in a good spot. Q, will he land it there? Goes for the hook, doesn't land it on the Makata. And I feel like Voidal's going down with this one. Still taking some damage. Auto attack finally comes in, but they trade kills. Wow, what? Makata waited way too long.
So he wanted to give the kill over to his AD carry. That is a definite no-no there. The jungler wanted to be selfless and give the kill over to AD carry, but he paid for it with his life because Voidal is still doing damage. Every second that you leave him up is a second wasted where he's actually going to kill you. And the Ignite actually ends up doing the job there.
Here we go.
That's why, as a jungler, if somebody ever gives you flack for not giving them a kill, then you just say, I could have died if I didn't kill that guy, okay?
Well, 2v2 top lane, exhaust barrel. Sorry, the barrel comes across. Makata's still in the fight. Puts some slows down. Okay, not too much there. Yeah, Makata came in right at time. Right in the nick of time.
In that 2 vs 2, I still really like the Gragas Renekton in that 2 vs 2 since you know they have such a huge wave clear advantage, and we did see it right there. Pretty big job by them. Now with the turret advantage top, we'll see if they actually spend any more resources down bottom, even though Dragon's already gone.
Well, let's see what happens here. 2v2. Guys, trading blows so far. Early Targon's Brace is done for Voidal. Gets one right there. All right. Getting some of the gold going into the team right there. Just early wave clear. And honestly, a small minion lead does go over to Meteor Makers. Both AD carries have 1 kill and 1 assist. Supports have the same score as well. The difference being that, of course, Relic Shield does give the gold over to Yernin. So overall, actually, much closer lane than I was about to say because of the Relic Shield.
Nice CSI work there.
Found it out.
Figure out. They're fairly even. But Jinx has a blue buff, and Zap is a ridiculous harass tool, by the way. That thing's scaling with AD really nicely. It looks like Gragas wants to go in, and a flash from Voidal to start off this gank from Gragas.
Flash away by Libico does not get hit with the box, but there comes Gragas anyway. Can he get him in? Knocks him back. Mockler is there. Nice hook lands on a Libic. The Flame Charmers as well. Not likely to survive, and they're giving the kill away. Who takes some damage. Zyra passive. Not going to land. Ku gets out.
That's why Thresh is a really high prioritized first pick for this team. Voidal, as you said, this is his favorite champion, and he single-handedly was able to capitalize that, make that a kill. Because Gragas going for Lucian with the ultimate instead of Zyra.
Here we go. The battle has begun. A lot of damage coming off onto Charu. Gets away with about 500 health. Still running, though. Has the knockup. Lands it. Goes back for the counterattack on a Vivin. Does he get the damage with the crit? He does! Charu wins it. Static Shiv making it happen.
As soon as you get Static Shiv on Yasuo, your power goes through the... All right, everybody be quiet. Oh, it's dead on! Oh! Again, the snipes! They should definitely get Jinx for him as often as possible. Those are just beautiful. That's the second one. He had one last game, too.
Those were nice. Those are really nice. The blue buff steal also.
Is that how he got it?
Yeah, ulti killed blue buff. That's why Yerna got blue.
Oh, yeah. He's definitely...
does splash into monsters. You have to hit a champion, but it will splash into monsters. I got a Baron steal with that the other week, like 2 days ago. I felt so good about myself.
this is not the time, Freak, to hear about your accolades.
You know what? Look, I'm really. By the way, that Jarvan clip that I was talking to you about, was me.
Nice.
It's in the Jarvan spotlight, actually. It's completely useless. All right, here we go. Cloud9 Eclipse. Blue team 5-4 actually. Got themselves a small lead now. 1,300 gold, putting them ahead. You're in a bit of a 1v2 though. Chompers runs back. Just some wards, seeing people.
So the Chompers, with the increased arm time there, it enabled Libic to just walk right back off of them. Seeing patch changes in action, I always like to point those out.
You know, Zed exists in the game now. He didn't before. Patch changes in action.
Yeah, you got me.
Yep.
I deserved that one.
I'm sorry. No, I agree with you. I actually agree with you. I just wanted to make fun of you.
So the next point for Yasuo, though, is the Infinity Edge. It is a long ways off, but since we pointed out the static shift is like a huge burst for him, and you know, he feels extremely confident now. Yeah. When he gets the combo of those two, that's when we're going to see the real pushes for the team fights, because after that point, like that's the pretty much the biggest spike that he does get.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun one to look for. It has at least 70% crit right now, so he's going to have a lot of powerful lightning.
Yeah, he's probably gone with the 5% crit runes, as almost all Yasuo's do. Well, here we go on the dive.
Oh!
Another juke.
Kuban with double jukes right here, but the ult comes in there.
Can't do
Vivid
that.
wants this one. He's going to get him.
Oh, he got the slow one to
Oh, he
Vivid!
might die! Woo! 18 health, chugged a health potion just in time.
Ooh.
Health potion survives the turret
So,
shots.
just in time. Whenever you start fighting, if you can get yourself in the habit of chugging your health potion at the beginning of your fight, it's going to help your game so much. Because a lot of people, yes, they'll chug the health potion when they're low.
But it heals over time. Knock up on a Voidal. Good kick from Lee Sin. The Q comes in, and goodbye, Voidal. Kata not even having to kick him. This time doesn't give the kill away to the AD carry. Ult comes across, looks on a Mockler.
Oh, man.
Whoa,
Oh,
health bars,
man!
he gets him!
Oh, and the only reason he didn't go forward for the second kill is because he was scared of Zyra right there. That was almost a double from Hjarnan, flashing in to get off Lee Sin. And then the barrier was still up for that split second on Mackler. I feel like if he would have just had the confidence to run past Zyra, get around the route.
Well, Q shows up, misses the flash, misses the Q. Everyone's juking his barrels, man. Q is
He's
not...
having a hard time. Yasuo's going to make him pay for it.
All right, good wall. Third Q's up. Gets one. Now the other one. Gets rooted. He doesn't get it. Yernin. Oh, it's going to be close.
There
Gets him. Double kill. Yernin. 7-0-1. Good luck.
The brain is getting fed right now. One more kill and he's legendary.
Red team's turret has been
This is going to be a
destroyed.
very, 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 very big problem for
Red team's
MYM
turret
late.
has been destroyed.
The Jinx is one of the
Problem
scariest
now.
late game AD carries. Yeah, it is a problem right now, actually.
Let's be fair.
It's already a
It hasn't
problem.
stopped. But C9E now going for the Dragon as well. Vivid going to tank the aggro. Why the heck not? Vivid takes that one down. Gold goes to the team. He even got the Dragon kill. He's slaying everything.
All right, so if you are an MYM fan, though, don't lose heart because you still have options. Jinx, an immobile AD carry, built full offense. She still can get killed just as easy as any of these other AD carries. A lot easier than most of them, actually.
Yeah.
So if Lee Sin, all that they have to do is kick someone into her or kick her with a classic insect style play, and then Charu can get right on her. Yasuo is pretty strong right now as well. He can make very quick work of AD carries in the end game. As long as they can get a knock-up down and Zyra's able to do a little bit of zone control, that's pretty much all they need. And taking out that Jinx threat early would put them back on even footing, because that's where a lot of the gold is here for Cloud9.
And thinking of the other lanes, we haven't watched it very much, but Adramna versus Kuban. Actually, Adramna in the fight right here. Makata shows up, ulti comes off on the Sharu. Do they have the damage? Jukes some of them things. He is going to go down. Barrel does nothing for Ku, blocked by a wind wall. But the kill picked up there.
Whoa!
Libic flashes over, looks for Yernin. Do they have the damage? Here comes the shots in from Lucian. Do they have the pain they need? Good juking right there. Ulti gets dodged. They trade kills, though.
Switches over to get a rocket shot for the range and exit the kill.
Oh!
He still hits?
Still hits
Are
it.
you kidding?
Worth it.
He's got like a 100% hit rate on these things, even when he doesn't hit the target he's going for.
Q takes a drink while rooted. Still looking for the chase. Libic
This
has
is going to be
nowhere
a
to
long
go.
run. That's going to be a long walk.
All right, I'm going to say 4, 3,
Threshold land? No.
2, 1. Almost got it in time. It's close. I kind of cheated there.
0.
Yeah. He's dead.
Now, we are going to get to the end game, though. Because Jinx is so fed, it's going to be the split push is going to be even easier for this Cloud9 team. They can actually go for an offensive 4-1 split push and siege up a tower because they do have that jungle Gragas that's going to have the disengage. And Renekton right now, even though he's gone with the Tiamat build, he can stun on the back line as they just try and get away off the back of a Gragas ulti. They actually have pretty good defenses. You have to get through mines as well as a box.
Yeah.
So they have a pretty good 4-1 split push, Cloud9 right now.
Okay, let's see what they do with this one. So right now it's been Kuban chilling mostly top lane. He's not hemorrhaging minions anymore, really. He's just kind of chilling with Sunfire. Like, he's getting pushed in by Adwamna, but we talked about the matchup scaling well. Oh, the knockup does land on Fabiven. Goes back in for this one. Sharu trying to stay in this battle. Who's going to win this one? Death Mark's going to be too much. Fabiven wins the battle again.
So his flash right there, yeah, it was unnecessary, but what he was going for was flashing to the other side of Windwall to hopefully block a Q. However, Zed had just used the Q shuriken, and there was nothing left to block.
So this matchup is going the way of the Ninja. Yeah, there's an old comparison, ninjas versus samurais, who's better? Right now, this game is showing us that ninjas are the superior martial artists.
Because ninjas cheat. Like, they don't really have a lot of rules.
Nope.
Samurais have a whole lot of rules. Oh, here we go.
Knockback. Good flash from Makata. Where's the Jinx ult? Come on, Yernin. Be a man.
It's not going to get a kill, Freak. He's not going to waste that thing.
Whatever. If it hits, it's still cool.
One shot, one kill.
All right.
If it's not going to be a kill, don't take the shot.
I mean, he's using a minigun. That's like 700 shots, one kill. He's already betraying it. What a jerk. Okay, Yernin makes that turret go down. 8-1-1. Last Whisper is done. He actually built that last time as well, the BT Last Whisper build. Very bursty. He's relying on his ultimates. Ultimates a little bit more than normal. Sharu here in the bottom side is going to keep doing the split push thing. Going to get his gold going. Eventually, he'll get more powerful. Like, problem is he's had such a hard time fighting against Fabiven. Ninja Tabby has not helped. Armor hasn't been a big deal. Yarna getting chunked down right there. Flashes away, does not get knocked up. Culling comes in, nicely aimed, flashes over. Barrier. Mockler, could he have the damage? Trying.
Oh my god! The culling does not do the job.
Man, that is rough.
Please buff.
That is rough.
It did good amount of damage though. That
he was only
good.
level 10.
It looked pretty good.
He was 2 levels behind Yernin. One more rank of that ulti would have gotten him.
Yeah, one more level.
Well, Sharu. Windwall, let's see it. Body slam comes in first. There's the Windwall.
Oh man, he's still going for the turret?
Slow attack speed. He was low mana though. There's only one spell left. He's juking around. Knockup's available.
Uh-oh, he missed it though.
I don't think Ku can chase.
That's not a good sign.
Never mind. Oh, yep, the shield.
Give him a little boost there.
Yeah, there you go. Out you go.
Run along.
He's good.
Little samurai.
He's
Run
good.
Along.
We're happy.
Be free, Charo. Be free.
All right. Oh, see?
He missed one.
What a scrub.
Man, we need double or nothing on the next.
No, it's already lost.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I don't believe in Yannon anymore.
All right.
He's going to end this game 8-11-2. I doubt it.
It's a bold prediction there.
I don't think I'm right on this one.
Libic upgrading to that sweeper already. He's helping him out, but the pink ward already in place. And he does not want to tango with Jinx.
No. She is a bad dancer.
He's no cutie pie.
Nope. No, that'd be Kiwi Kid who would tango with Jinx.
All right, yeah. Kiwi Kid.
Yeah.
Fabiven lying in wait. He wants a kill, but he might get himself into a poor position here.
Ooh, the seed spots him. Out he goes with the shadow.
So I love setting up bush ganks like that, but you have to have the vision to back it up. Because sometimes you set up a gank and you catch a lot more than you wanted. 3 people would have been a little bit much.
Yeah. So he's gonna back out with this one. Sharu running around the map. He knows he can't duel the enemy mid laner Fabiven here. Top lane goes down uncontested there, so finally the Odromna split push works out here. 196 minions. Hydra done. Kuban just sweeping up minions as he goes around.
Yeah, I was saying that their 4-1 split would be extremely strong, but they have not even had to go to that. They're still the 1-3-1, relying on individual play. Renekton has gone the split push build, rushing the Hydra, and then going defense, so he shoves it in extremely quickly. We haven't paid a lot of attention up there because, they've kind of been left to their own devices. But he's doing exact same job that he had to do last game, and he's doing it well. Meanwhile, Zed already getting very far up there, past the ward line.
Let's see where they go with this one. So,
So they're signaling him back, his own team.
He's like, dog.
Yellow team spamming onto Zed right now. He knows, like, when you get your assassin to that point, you feel so strong, you just want to go kill somebody. But the rest of his team makes the objective call here.
It's like, no. Stop it.
Bad Zed, we're going to grab a dragon. You're going to have to find your own kill somewhere else.
Okay. Well, C9E now grouping back towards the mid lane. Ku grabs his red buff on the way around. Actually, no. Yernan got that one. He's from the lower jungle is all. Sharu is still on. He's getting the most gold from his team. 213 minions. He is the guy who's sweeping up all the gold. They're putting their hopes on him, and his Infinity Edge is done. So now...
Yeah, I like that because, as I said, he's the guy that's going to take out this main damage, this Jinx. He'll get in there. He'll obliterate Jinx.
Yeah.
If he has enough juice left to take on Zed, then that would be the hope for this MYM team. At this point, though, you know, he can take out Jinx extremely quickly. He has the Infinity Edge plus Shiv combo.
Yeah.
The only question is, will Zed have already killed Mackler by that time?
It's true. We'll see if he does it. I feel like Shire really needs lifesteal soon. So that he can, like, do all that damage and get his health high enough that he doesn't die to Deathmark.
Yeah.
I think it's a requirement for him. We'll see,
I mean, he might be, yeah, right. He might be able to kill Yernan, but he won't be able to survive and get out of it without lifesteal.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
The shield's nice. Right? He has more health than you think. Because by late game, it's like a 700-ish point shield. So we'll have like 2,600 health to go through, but...
Yeah,
we'll
and
see.
you get 2 of those because if you if you charge it up fully first just by walking around and then start your fight out, after it gets burned, you can ultimate to get it recharged for free again.
It's true.
You get another one, a lot more tanky than he appears to be.
We'll see how much of a baller Sharu is if he can get another knockup, because he relies on himself, Lee Sin, and Zyra to set that up. So the timing might be difficult. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Here these guys go. Okay.
Yeah, did we even mention the Zyra knockup in Champ Select? I don't think we did.
Maybe.
We'll just, I'll just say that we
did.
We thought that one was common knowledge, unspoken.
Yeah.
Goes without saying.
We're good with this one. Okay, so mid lane looks like a little bit of pressure here from these guys. Ku, I think it's interesting. So C9E, they're letting Ku run around and sweep the jungle. Like all those camps were dead until now.
Yeah.
And they're just like holding the mid lane, letting him farm.
You're right. I mean, this Cloud9 end game plan is very, very sort of greedy, I would even say.
Yeah.
Because, like I said, they could finish it out by doing the 4-1 split and forcing the end game. But instead, they're farming not only every lane, but they're also farming the jungle. And that's kind of a big difference between like experienced pro players and like just solo queue players. Is a lot of times the solo queue players just want to get super rich. They want to get extremely strong as I can possibly be. Whereas the experienced pro will always go to end the game immediately as soon as they can.
Well, down goes Libic. He's having a rough time. 0-5-4. Picked up there by Odwamna. Helped by Ku. Yernan took a lot of damage from Baron. The team backed off. This is going in.
It certainly looks a lot more flashy when you get super strong like this.
Okay,
you get a lot
Sharu's
more
grabbed the
kills.
Deathmark. Has the knockup available.
He ran back
Vivens.
into the base.
This is rough for Vivin. He's got almost nowhere to go. Sharu's ulti. Yeah, okay, the Q timed out. Now here's the trade again. Oh my god, the damage! Windwall went the wrong way!
Oh, he was trying to win while Zed and didn't see the Jinx on his back, I think.
Well, they trade kills, though. It is Vivin being dead, so it's a 4v4. But all the gold. There we go. The kick-in's going to land onto Odwamna. The knockup comes through. Yernan very low, chased by Kuban. Ku picks up one. Trading 1-for-1 now. Kuban's still on the front line. Flashing from Libic does not land, though. Wasted flash. Voidal now getting chased down. Plants come up. Has the lantern. Kuban going for a Q. No flash for Voidal. He's going to go down. 3-for-2 fight for Meteor Makers. They're holding on.
Yeah, Meteor Makers can make Cloud9 pay for the aggressive, greedy style that they're going for. Because Vivin goes for that all-in dive at the base, they're able to turn it around. That threat being off the board means the main one left is Jinx, and they're able to take him down early.
And I got to point out, though, so we talked about the duels with Char. Ku doesn't go anywhere with the body slam. Kills it anyway.
All planned.
Wow, all right, that happened. Didn't even bury her.
All he has is a death cap on top of the Spirit of the Spectral Wraith, too.
It's worth 80 AP.
It's not like he's got even 2 main items here. Just blasted him.
Man, some good stuff. No defensive
His barrier
items.
is still up. He did not expect that.
No, he didn't.
Mackler still has his barrier.
He met his Mockler there. So, but I want to talk about the Shara versus...
I'll let it go.
All right.
It was good.
Anyway, so Char versus Forbidden. It took Char's flash last time, but he won the duel 1v1. Straight up won the duel.
Yeah.
Now has a Last Whisper on top of that. So Char was getting bigger over time. Makashi now getting jumped on. Does Forbidden have the damage? He jumps into the Baron pit a little early and goes down. That's an easy pick up there. So C9E gets Baron and a kill. It's looking good for them.
Yeah, you could say that. It's looking pretty good.
It's looking all right.
Now, we'll have to keep our eyeballs on that Jinx and see if Jaro can get his job done into the back line and assassinate him. Meanwhile, you know, who's going to be able to take out Forbidden while Charo is concentrated on Jinx? That's going to be a bit rough.
I feel like ideally, right, if I'm MYM, I'm like, I kill Forbidden, and I hope that Windwall stops Yarnin for long enough that we can
zone
clean
him out instead.
Yeah, because you let Kuban run into him, right?
Yeah.
And unless you get the first kill, she's not excited.
Yeah, but
her flash is down.
But then are you going to use your win wall for Gragas ulti? Like, there's so many things you want to win wall. You could use it just to zone Jinx, but I feel like blocking the Gragas ult would be key for the team fight.
Okay, so you block Gragas ult and hope Kuban can walk into Jinx's face and force her away?
Yeah.
Because Kuban's doing pretty well. Randuin's Sunfire, knows he's fighting mostly physical damage.
Yeah, that's...
He can hopefully dodge Ku, because Ku's gigantic. That's what the win wall's for. And then they only need armor to survive the fight. 3 items on Charo. He's big right now. He's way more threatening than Makler by a lot. Makler's having a rough game. I mean, 180 minions at 28 minutes.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have Trinity Force yet. That's the problem, is Makler doesn't do much in fights right now.
Yeah, look at that. The Jinx has four items. It's excessive.
He does have 9 kills.
Ku walking back and forth there. Does get hit with another cleaver and the flash.
Wow, forced to flash. Okay. But that's still like things that we're now seeing go MYM's favor. They're still on 13K. This could be still the endgame push for C9E, but MYM aren't giving up.
Zed's knocking at the door, but that's going to force Charu to at least clear that top wave, and it will be a split-second 4-on-5 here in the mid.
And it's enough for the turret here. MYM regrouping to defend this. Ku actually, it's not even a 4-on-5. Ku's not even there. C9E with less people getting the turret anyway. Baron buff, of course, helping. Focusing on the inhibitor. No one engaging yet still.
Well, they've actually grouped up here, Cloud9. It's very hard for MYM to go for that hard engage. They're more of a counter-engage team since they have Zyra. It's a long-range knockup that they're going to have to land onto a priority target for them to go.
Well, some damage on the foil. Limit caught around, puts the ulti down. Here we go, Yarnin. Can they get the knockup? Does he get any damage at all? Sharu finally comes in late. What's he find there? Shields come across, the trade blows back and forth, but it's a 4 versus 1 on the map. Cloud9 Eclipse about to close the game out.
Yep, we answered the question right there. He can take out Jinx, but nobody else. Congrats to Cloud9. Really, really strong early play.
So a 2-0 for Cloud9 Eclipse. If something catastrophic happens, they will be facing Ninjas in Pajamas a week from now in the LCS studios. Meet Your Makers. It's going to be in a 3rd place game, though. We're going to have that one on Thursday. Another important one. C9E showing themselves very well. Had an early game loss in game 1, pulled it back anyway.
Yeah.
Game 2 felt even more controlled. Just split push to victory.
Yeah, they've pretty much done the exact same thing both times. It's solo laner split push.
Yeah.
Like, regardless of what went on early, solo laner split push the side lanes, and they were able to win all of the lanes. In that case, you look ridiculously good because you get the early lead, and then you got control of the jungle. Not only, as we said, they're farming all 3 lanes, but they're also farming both jungles.
Yeah.
So the gold lead just gets tremendous at that point,
Yeah.
and it makes the plays look that much more exciting. But you have to wonder if they come up against a team that tries to force earlier than that. Like you can make them pay for doing a 1-3-1.
Yeah.
Catch people out. They haven't had the best ward coverage. They did get a lot better in this game, and they covered a lot of their avenues in between lanes. But you can definitely punish that team.
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like, you had a 7-0 Jinx. Like, biggest force in the game, has already reached late game at like 14 minutes into the game. And it's like they didn't do a lot with her. She just kind of chilled alongside Thresh.
Pretty good snipes.
But yeah, had some good snipes, right?
Put those
but
up
like,
on YouTube.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, they're good players, right? But it's like you have a giant fat Eddie Kira and you're like, I'm just going to split push.
A lot of individual plays. As
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. And what you said about other teams catching him out, I'm kind of thinking back to when they were doing like the 1-2-1 split and Ku was farming both jungles. It's like you left your Fed AD carry with no escapes, mid with 2 people. It's like, someone's going to find that champion at some point. So I'm curious to see. Again, I'm agreeing with you here. I wonder what these guys are going to do when they face it with NIP, a very experienced team as well. Now, guys, the last European semifinal series is in our match history, so let's take a look at the nearly completed Challenger bracket. The finals have been set. The Ninjas in Pajamas will take on Cloud9 Eclipse next Friday live on the European LCS stage.
But up first on Thursday, January 13th, it's the battle for third place and the last guaranteed spot in the second spring series. Meet your makers versus Tick, Trick, and Duck.
And remember, even though Europe is done for the week, the North American LCS kicks off Saturday with 4 huge games. Up first, Meteos and Cloud9 try to bounce back from their loss to Team Solo Mid when they take on the struggling ManCloud and XDG.
Then, after Curse and Dignitas face off, the North American challengers take to the Rift for the first semifinal series. The Chinese powerhouse and challenger favorites, LMQ, are going to face off against NK Inc. and Skyline.
And with that, it's the end of the first ever European Challenger Series semifinal round. Once again, got to say thanks to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now, for myself, Kobe, and the entire live broadcast crew, thanks for watching. Good night, and GG.